Are you a HELIVE teacher? A HELIVE teacher is someone who never stops learning.
We know that highly efficacious, efficient, and effective educators expect their students to succeed.
Yes, y'all. Watch out!
HELIVE, Highly Efficacious, Effective, and Efficient Educators, is a series of 22 live lessons that focus on different areas of teacher efficacy, advocacy, and support.
HELIVE teacher brings fun into the classroom.
HELIVE teachers bring excitement to the classroom.
They welcome change into their classroom. They are masters of the subject and the content that they teach. And most importantly, they never stop learning. So again, I ask, are you a HELIVE teacher?
We're excited that you can join us, so stay tuned for our upcoming HELIVE lessons, and we look forward to learning and growing with you. Thank you.
Yeah, come on. I like that, y'all. The H, the E, the H, the H, the E, I. The H, the E, the H, the H, the E, I like that, like that. The H, the E, I, H, I, E, I, H, E, I. Heck yeah. Yes, y'all. Watch out. H-E-Y.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey everyone, welcome to the He Live Summer Learning Series. We're so excited that you could join us this evening. I'm Lavetta Levels, bringing greetings from Dallas, Texas. So welcome again to our series where our goal is to inform, empower, and encourage educators, families, and all those that have a stake in education. Whether it's your first time joining us or if you've attended our sessions before, we thank you for your presence and your participation as we learn and grow with you. Where are you watching us from? Hello, I see some people there from Atlanta. Hello, Dr. Soroyer. Hello, Texas. I see Dr. Taylor's here. Ohio, Tennessee, California, Florida. Thank you. Oh, and we've got someone in Spain. Thank you tonight. Thank you for all of you for joining us tonight. I'm here, but I've got some friends with me. The He Live crew is here. Tag Simone, you're in.
Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Miss Lavetta, I want to shout out. She's being highly efficacious, effective, and efficient on this tech thing, guys. So Miss Lavetta is in the house. We have Keisha. We want to say hey to Isis. She's not with us tonight, but she is with us in spirit. And so thank you to all of you that's tuning in. I'm from the great state of North Carolina. I bring you greetings from College Park, Maryland. I don't know what they put up down there, but Keisha, you're in it.
All right, thank you, Simone. We were just sending Isis some love since she's not here, some Delta love, just letting her know. So that's all good. But good evening, everyone. My name is Keisha Wiley, and I bring you greetings from Dallas, Texas. And I have the distinct honor and the pleasure of introducing our guest panelist for tonight. Her name is Miss Deirdre Hannible, and she is an educational leader with nearly 20 years of experience serving students, teachers, and families from all walks of life. She believes in fostering positive and energetic environments where students and staff excel. Throughout her educational career, she has persistently developed, trained, and advocated for research-based practices to close student and teacher achievement gaps. She is currently a proud middle school principal in the state of Texas. She's a consultant, and y'all, she hosts her own podcast, Unapologetically Educated. You all help me welcome Miss Deirdre Hannible.
Hello, everyone out there. Thank you for having me.
So excited to have you, Miss Hannible. I've had the distinct pleasure for knowing Miss Hannible for quite some time. So yes. I remember when she was an internationally known math teacher, and she was always having to travel to do presentations for the national mathematics and science conferences. And so they would take her and scoop her up. And so she was very highly recruited as a math teacher. Then I had the opportunity to watch her grow into leadership. She then became an assistant principal, and now she's a principal. She's an outstanding leader. She's a leader of leaders. So tonight, this is exciting to have her with us. So we're going to do something really comfortable for us because we all know each other. But I want you all to get to know a little bit about Principal Hannible and why she is so special. So, Principal Hannible, I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
Hopefully they're not too challenging, but I think you can handle it. The first question is, can you provide us, just so the viewers can kind of get to know you, provide us a profile of your previous experience, including demographics, academics, things that you've done, and share about the campuses in which you serve.
So I have had the honor to serve campuses that come from all walks of life. I was a leader at a campus that our EL population, the home languages were over 30 different home languages spoken throughout our campus. I've had the great honor of being able to lead mainly in my entire career, schools that have students and families that look like me. But one of the things that's always been tricky is not always the staffing makeup didn't always look like me. And what I mean by like me, that meant sometimes we might have had a campus with 80 to 90% African-American for student population, but then the ratio of teachers that were African-American might have been 10, 15, 20%. And with that, being able to, I've been blessed to be in those spaces where I've been able to coach and lead and grow others from all walks of life. So I think that's an honor. It's not anything that I see as a bad thing. I see something that's groomed me to be the leader that I am. with that, I think every campus, one of the campuses I was at, every campus you go to, I kind of scout as a next space, because as a leader, you got to know your worth. So you got to know where you want to go. It's not always about taking that job that looks really pretty and shiny lights. It's about taking the job for you. And so one of the campuses I went to, they had never been improvement required. They were just kind of moseying along the way, but they had so much potential. So my job was to come in there and help them reach that potential. And so it was a campus that was always met standard, but by the end, we got some of our first distinctions as a campus, and now they still continue that same premise, which is coaching and just being able to use high quality, best instructional practices. The other piece, I kind of transitioned because I want to be honest with you. There is, as a principal, you do so much hard work, and you want to know that the work that you're doing affects the people that, I'm sorry, looks like me. Like, I know I grew up, I'm from Highland Hills, Texas, and it is not on a map that you can easily go find, but those people that look like me, they need people advocating. And when I say look like me, I don't mean just Black, I mean socially and economically disadvantaged. So I've made it my plight to go to campuses that need that type of support, need everything that I bring to the table in regards to energy. So I've been able to turn around some campuses. I'm currently at a campus that I'm the proud middle school principal at, and we're doing some great things to change the perception and what it means to be a student at that campus.
Yeah. Great. That's awesome. Awesome. So, and we're kind of leading into our next question here. Our next question is, so with those experiences, what has been your greatest challenges? And please share with us some of your most exciting wins.
Greatest challenges, I would say, I said this on a PTA call the other day. I said, I don't know how I keep picking the schools with like low PTA interest. That's always been every campus. But I was blessed when I was an elementary school teacher, and she is a Delta, so I'm going to shout her out, Mila Wilson. She came to the classroom and she said, you need to be the PTA president. Like, I know you my boss and all, but could you get out of my room? And I had kids, my own kids went to school at that school, but I was like, I'm already, I got Mrs. Math games. I got my consulting business going. I'm teaching them in a comfortable space. I do not want to be a PTA president. She was like, Hannible, come on, we need you. So I became the PTA president at that campus. And that opened my eyes to a totally different world. And I believe God puts you in spaces for a reason. And so now, going into all these campuses that I've been in with low PTA involvement, I'm able to like really get the parents involved in a space because I know what it feels like on the lens of a PTA president. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges, just trying to get the parents going. But once they figure out I'm live and crazy, they're fine. Another challenge, I would say, facing me as a principal going into different campuses is just, I'm gonna be a little unapologetic here. Let me just go on and do it. Sometimes, and I'm a mama bear about my campus. So able to, as the leader, sometimes tune out all that other nonsense that happens with the district, what that happens with other campuses, and focus on that one thing, which is my campus. I think sometimes that is a struggle for any principal, because for me, I want to say, I'm always like, how can I help? But sometimes you don't need to help. You need to let that just happen and stay in your space.
Very good. Very good. That whole piece around PTA, I had the experience of trying to be a parent and an administrator, kids in the district. And then I was on a PTA board. I was a VP of membership. It's so important that you have that seat. And I think it gives you some credibility with your parents as they're moving forward. And you can appreciate them. And it's reciprocal. It really is. So tell us about some of those wins, though.
My proudest moments, of course, academic achievement. Every principal wants to say that, and I'm super proud of the academic achievements. One school, we went from 1 point away from IR to getting distinctions every year. Even the growth that we're making on this campus, we went from even culturally no parents doing surveys, no teachers doing surveys, to our teachers welcoming coaching and feedback. Biggest thing that I pride myself on is culture and trust. The fact that my staff, my parents, the students trust me means so much to me as a leader, because you can get that other work, that academic work done without that other problem of trust. The other piece of culture, culture eats academics every day for breakfast. And so if you don't have a high culture and you can't motivate the people and get them going, you have nothing. And so I sometimes see high performing academic schools with culture. So a school that's a high performing school, because the kids really didn't need you. They were going to come in reading. They were coming in reading on 3rd grade level, whether you showed up or not. Just drones, because there is no high culture. The teachers at 3:30, the parking lot is clear. That is a test. If you walk out your building and the parking lot is clear every day at 3:30, nobody wants to stay, nobody want to ride for you. That's a litmus test, leaders, that something ain't right. Too much. I apologize.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Ask this next question, then I'm gonna take the questions over to Miss Principal Wiley over there. So you had some great wins. I love the culture piece. I love the academics piece, and of course, you know, creating that whole campus of learning. So tell us about those strategies that you've used to accomplish these wins.
Some of the big things is I'm very genuine, and you can probably tell by what I'm like right now. But I think people sometimes as leaders, we get in positions and we're afraid to let the people see who we are. And I love gospel, I love trap music, I love classical music, all of that. So you're gonna get a little bit of that every day. Me and the kids might run down the hallway, all of that. So I think being unapologetically, authentically me, I think that has also helped. One of the things is, as a leader, I don't just push initiatives down people's throats. I let my staff tell me. At one campus, we started Ron Clark houses, and it worked really well at actually 2 campuses. But the thing is, those teachers were able to go to Ron Clark Houses Academy, see it, and then come back and they wanted to implement it. Well, the campus I'm at now, I can't go there and say, you're doing Ron Clark Houses Academy because I know it works. Buy-in is going to be poor, and it's not going to work. So right now, as much as I want to do it, we're going to hold off until I get a chance for my staff to experience it. Then we make the collective decision if this is something we want to do on our campus. Another piece is, I don't know, I just love loving on people. And so I was telling Keisha over the phone yesterday, if your worst teacher and your people can tell the difference on how you treat your worst teacher and how you treat your best teacher, you're doing something wrong. There should be no delineation. So me, even if you can't stay at my school because teaching might be what you wanted to do, but it really ain't your heart work. I'm gonna try to hook you up. Somebody else became a real estate agent. She couldn't teach. I mean, like, it is what it is. But I really care about her as a person. And so you gotta care about the people as people too. And so I have time for those I got yous. That's counterproductive.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna keep this next question to Principal Wiley.
All right, excellent strategies, Principal Hannible. By the way, very, very, very informative. So please share some mistakes with us that you have made in your career.
Probably my biggest one, I told you at the beginning, I'm a mama bear. So everything is not about the fight. I told my sister Stacy the other day, Jay-Z said, when 2 people are fighting from afar, you can't tell who the fool is. And so I have to, as much as sometimes I want to like, ooh, get them, you know, is this really about the fight? I see Lavetta over there laughing, but is it really about the fight? It's not always about that. Lavetta will get on to me like, Grasshopper, calm down. So I have to learn, what am I going to fight for? And what is worth me just saying, I'm going to let y'all handle that. And then I'm going to be laser focused on what I got going on over here. Are you proud of me?
I am. I'm over here saying, initially, you used to be involved in the fight.
Yes.
But you learned that. All right. So
now, I'm still trying though.
Would you say it again?
I said, now I don't fight. I just ask a lot of questions.
Okay. All right, good strategy. Leaders, if you're listening, listen carefully. Go back and look at this video once it's over too. So what would you tell your first year principal self?
Girl, take care of yourself. I'm still learning it. But girl, take care of yourself. When you die and pass on, they're gonna post your job the next day. One of my principal friends, rest in peace, Principal Ashley Coins, passed away in 2019. And it was one of those like wake up moments. And I still struggle with it because I am a mama bear. I answer texts when I should be asleep. And I have to put my phone on do not disturb so I don't see them. But taking care of yourself makes you a better leader. Because if you're always on the go and you're making people stay late at night, you're like totally taking over their time. They're going to do that to themselves. They're going to do that to the people that they lead. So really being intentional with self-care. I meditate now every day. And my meditation today was like literally, Lord, after I meditated, I prayed, Lord, please let me keep this up when we go back in the building. Lord, please, because my brain doesn't stop. I read 6-7 books a week. And so I have to be able to unplug. Now, Mr. Hannible is good with that because he'll just say, hey, turn it all off and come downstairs, get out of that office. You know what we've done, principals.
And why are you talking to Lavetta levels on a Sunday?
Yeah, that's true. But principals, you know what we did? We came home and made an office and stayed in it at home.
Right. There it is.
That's not taking care. Plan it out. Take care of yourself. And then model that for your people.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that comment from Shalonda Soroya says, Sister Lavetta knows how to put you in your place in a gentle correction.
Yes, many times.
So I'm going to ask one more question before I turn it back over to Lavetta. What recommendations would you give to campus leaders regarding effective communication tools?
Well, in a virtual sense, to me, it's all the same. If you're a good communicator as a campus leader, find those ways. And some of the things I'm going to share with you in a little bit is, number one, I am the queen of Google Sites. So we have a Google site that I use for my staff, the Monday Memo. I don't believe in sending my staff no more than one email a week. I know that's going to mess y'all up. I don't, because number one, they're not reading them, and you got to keep repeating yourself anyway. But I think the other piece to that is it says to the campus that my leader has a plan for us, and she's communicated, or he has communicated it ahead of time. We're going to stick to the script. So if I ever have to do like some one-off, which is hardly ever, we have group me for that we have informal messaging for our staff. Even with the parents, we have a Google site and we utilize class tag. But I think being very intentional when you got those messages so people know when they're coming. People don't like that, okay, I sent this out this time and then I changed it up and I sent it out this time. I remember one of my daughter's principals, I knew Sunday at noon, I was getting a message from her school. You know what I mean? To the nail. And so being very intentional with how you communicate, parents and your teachers know what to expect. So when you have to do some one-off communication, they understand that this may be important. Let me stop and read it. The other piece is I call parents and just get their feedback. Hey, and one parent, I'm trying not to say her name. I can say it because she has a general name. So Miss Johnson. Miss Johnson calls me all the time. So I started calling Miss Johnson all the time. Calling me, I call her, hey, I want to get your feedback on this. But utilize your space, make your critical friend really your friend.
Yes. Right. Yes.
And so knowing that and being able just to channel the people, I just love, people in general. I think one of the hardest things for COVID for me is the human connection is so real for me. I walked right into the building and hugged the custodian. He was like, ma'am, COVID. So I'm not going to be good in the space. I'm telling y'all right now to keep me up.
Okay.
Now, I got to tell you this. I got to share this with you. So, we went over the show yesterday, and you mentioned the one email per week. And so immediately I put that into practice. I had something to share with the team today. I went to group me. I was like, Hannible said one email. I already sent my one email.
But it makes you think about what you put in it, so your staff knows what to expect. I was talking to a teacher yesterday that I used to work with. She was like, her principal, school started for them on Monday, and the principal sent out the newsletter Sunday at 10:54. She was already asleep, had packed her. Like, no, I was lost on Monday because I didn't read it. So be mindful of the time. And like one of my teachers, shout out to Sergeant Castile, he was like, hey, Miss Hannible, can I get these earlier? And so I took that. Don't take feedback critical. Take it and go and run with it and be better.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good. Very good. And I learned that from you, but I also learned it from someone else as on the parent side. So as you were sending that one email of a week to your staff, I had a wonderful principal, the principal, middle school principal of both of my children, a phenomenal, internationally known Miss Sissy Lowe,
Yes.
as a parent who sent out a family email every week, only one, and we all knew to look at that email, and it had all the information for the week. So thank you for that effective tool. I've seen it as a parent work and as a staff member. Okay, so you kind of talked about the culture and how you develop that. So tell us some more strategies on how to build a campus, a culture of support and learning. Because you kind of touched a little bit about the support.
Yes. So I'm going to steal this one from the toolkit of Lavetta Levels. Number one, I plan my whole year out in June, July. All the way out. And the reason why I do that is because the reason why I do that is when you plan it all the way out, you can be intentional with how you celebrate people and you won't forget something. In October, everybody make me sick, and I don't want to do nothing for nobody. But I'm also a human because I'm dog tired too. But I already planned out that, we doing an ice cream social, we doing 6 weeks awards staff and the students. And so with that, we do staff awards, and they got crazy themes. Like one time we had R&B themed staff awards. So you got the Lenny Wilkins Because I Love You award because you really love on kids. And we have a good time. We've done all kind of things. We take up like what are some of the favorite things that the staff like for snacks and resources and supplies. Even virtually, when we met back this past Friday, I had a virtual wheel with $25 supply coupons for the teachers and free lunch. So if you answered the question, I spun the wheel. So just different things like that. We also have a playlist. And that playlist, y'all, is thugs.
I like the playlist. I like that playlist idea.
That playlist and anything goes. So I ask for, and be very intentional on what you ask. Don't ask for what your favorite song is, because they might say Celine Dion and da-da-da-da-da-da. Ask for what is the song that gets you motivated, pumped, inspired to win the day. So we got some Headlock by Yellow Beezy. Dallas on. Just saying. We got
shout out to Yellow Beezy. Shout out to Dallas.
We got Kirk Franklin. We got some
Franklin.
Another 214.
UNT graduate. We got a lot of songs from people, and so we don't judge. What I tell people is we're all adults, and we're gonna respect this. You might learn a new song that you didn't even like, but the staff loves it. We got some more, but I can't share because they raw. But I let my staff be that genuine. We create a space for that because there's a space for you to be, and you better be professional. And there's a space for you to let loose and have that open space and that open time. Trying to think. We do deliveries. Let me tell you something. Caesars then got by a good, cool $400-500 of my money over the course of COVID, because you can call in an order and have the parent go pick it up and just say, hey, thank you, love you. Or you can go pick it up and deliver it yourself. So hot and ready, I got $5 on it. Right? You can do that. And so just thinking of ways to love on the people. And we do an 18 retreat for my 18. We do a big retreat, and then we do it every other month. I see you, Mr. Anderson. Every other month, we do F4. So for my administrative team, F4, everything we do has got to be centered around fitness, which we working on fitness, food, fun, and faith. Those 4 things. And so it helps us build in some self-care and just some time away. And so being able to just to really support and grow your people is super important to me.
Okay, so go back to the F4. I want to know. Say that
again. Let us know.
So F4, my A team and I, and baby, this ring light ain't playing today, okay?
Turn it off. Turn it off.
No, F4 is something I started when I first became a principal, but we always do staff retreats, but really doing a retreat for your administrative team.
Okay.
A lot on them. And they know that my team is probably listening like, yeah, she does. And we actually had to have a come to Jesus meeting today. But I do that F4, and it's centered around 4 principles: faith, fitness, food, and fun. So we've been bowling. We've went to a chocolatier special place where they make gourmet chocolates. We've did wine tastings. Shout out to my superintendent. I hope that doesn't affect anything. We did. I'm sorry, y'all brought unapologetically educated on here. Right. We do faith. We did mindfulness and yoga, and we fell in love with the. We didn't even know that we were basically under. I was like, "Well, we hypnotized." So we've done all of those things, like to really get us going and keep that charged. We leave the building at 3:30 or 4 o'clock, and we just say, "Hey, tag, you it. Custodian, you in charge. Hope doesn't happen." But we all get in our cars and go. Or we'll name some random person to be in charge. But it works for us.
Very good. That's exciting. And it also gives them opportunity for them to grow, to identify with the staff. Okay. So you kind of talked about PTA. How do you effectively engage your families in this virtual climate?
So I kind of talked about the whole awards and challenges. We do a lot of challenges to engage the parents. My favorite was the TikTok challenge, and I didn't think the parents were going to do it, but they got out there and they were whatever that was. When they crossed arms, I can't do it, but the parents could do it way better than I could. But it was a staff versus the family challenge. The hot and ready pizza thing is always, current, but you know what? Let me just be honest. When we went on COVID, we started surveying the hell out of our parents. We started sending tons of emails. They're tired of reading, guys. They're tired of reading. They don't want to do no more surveys. They are tired. So one of the things, video announcements, doing that YouTube video and embedding it. And so the parents can just watch that and get everything they need. Go at the bottom and click the links if they want to go and do more. Another thing is my district phone. I turned that phone during COVID into the school office number. And then what I did was I forwarded the number to 18 members, so everybody was answering calls. I told the parents to answer the phone from 7 to 7. And then back to you. But then our parents were not feeling like, do you know sometimes how hard it is, even as a leader, to start and compose an email? And we asked parents, stop this here now. So finding ways to lighten the load. I had parents to call me and say, look, I can't do this computer. Okay, you know what? Let's take a 24-hour break. Everybody unplug. Do I need to come by and get the plugs? No, ma'am. And then I call them back and everybody be fine. Figuring out those spaces, having Zoom open time for parents just to pop in and talk to you. Sometimes parents call me and pray for me over COVID. Had me in there crying and shouting and stuff. Just the fact that when parents know that you work really hard for their kids, they get back to you. I made a mistake this week, and I thought this was a secure app. That's neither here nor there. And and I messed up. So one of the parents called me and was like, "Ooh, I don't think this did what you intended." So, 2 parents blasted me, right? So I'm in here and I'm nervous in my office. The parent called me and said, I've already prayed over it. Let me pray for you. And it's done. I got no more text messages at all.
Yeah.
So I just say that to say, when you love on your people and they know you love their kids, everything is everything.
That is true. That is true. You know, I've been fortunate. I've had some outstanding principals in the lives of my children. I've worked with some outstanding principals, and two of them I get to sit with tonight. So I'm so excited to have these two outstanding principals. Let me say this. I've watched you work. You know, I have to give you some kudos. Grasshopper, you just make me proud. You know, she always laughs at me. When I call her Grasshopper, she thinks she's in trouble.
I am.
I call those aspiring leaders grasshoppers. They get their first job, you grasshopper. And so I'm so proud of you. You've done phenomenal. And I love how you lead in crisis. I think just like Michelle Obama said, is that when you get that title, it reveals who you are. Mm-hmm. And in the middle of the crisis, it shows who you are. Mm-hmm. And so thankfully, you are that type of an administrator that you have the tools and you are so prepared and you have led. So kudos to you. We're going to share some of your tips and strategies that you shared with us earlier with everyone. And after that, we're going to come back and talk about your podcast, your amazing podcast.
Thank you.
We're going to put up this slide.
Okay, let me, Keisha, don't get on to me. I'm working, okay? I'm trying to.
Okay. You have this. You can do this. You have it. She's going to use this type of a broadcast studio.
Right.
I did look into this when we got off the phone. I'm not going to even lie to you.
You did very tech savvy.
It happened. There you go. Woo! She did that.
Oh, all right. Yes.
All right. So a couple of things, and I will drop the link in here for anyone who needs it. And I'll also post it on my site. But I just gave you a couple of different tips and like why. So one of the things that I did not talk about was Linktree or Wakelet. You know how you have an Instagram page for your school or a Twitter page for your school, but you also want to have a place to store all of your resources on that social media platform so parents can also go back and do that. Linktree and Wakelet allows you to do that. You can post a catalog of all of your resources for your community in one place. So now when they go to your bio and click it, they are now exposed to a site or with all of your resources in one place. So now that link to bio now means a plethora of resources for your parents and your community. I talked about Google Site. One of the things I love about Google Site, it's the same link. One of our competitors, I'm not going to say it because Lavetta got on to me yesterday. One of our competitors, the link changes every week. So even if my parents miss the link that it goes out, it's the same link. Another one that I did not put on here, but I will go back and add is Glide. Glide is a way that you can create a free app for your school. Mm-hmm. I know Keisha say what? You can create a free app.
I'm typing the notes.
Yes, Glide is Glide apps. You can create a free app. You don't have to do any coding. It's easy to build. Create a free app for your school. And I got that one from Meredith Akers. Shout out to her. She's amazing. Check-in schedule. Be intentional with checking on your people. So I create a staff check-in schedule. It literally tells you what staff members you're calling for the week. And then you write notes. Like, we need to go do something different. Like we found out this week, I needed to go check on this teacher because they needed a little bit more pep talk from me. And so creating that schedule, that makes sure you don't miss anyone. Because a lot of times you're going to either call the people that always complain or the people you like to talk to. And those people that kind of live in quiet land, you never get to them. So being very intentional with that. And then virtual parent academies. I was talking to a parent today and I actually got to call her.
Yes.
We talked about virtual giveaways. Mm-hmm. Virtual giveaways and parent academies. When we bring students back into the space, we're going to teach them all about the technology. Please don't forget to teach parents about the technology. So virtual academies are where we're going to train parents over Zoom how to use all of those same features, but will be led by teachers, some led by students and other parents. It's also a good way to recruit for PTA virtually.
Mm-hmm. That's hey, wait.
That right there.
You asked me not to fuss at you, but you took the document down before I got to ask my questions.
I'm sorry. I'll put the link up. You know I'll be messing up.
But one of the things I noticed with the document is that you had it categorized. So I just kind of wanted you to speak to the categories.
Oh, okay. So the categories, and really, I didn't give y'all all of them. So the first two I gave you, there's actually 4. The first one is communication. The second one is culture.
Okay.
The one is actually coaching, and the last one is challenges.
Okay.
So challenges are things that typically get into a leader's way that really affect the way we do our job, which is productivity. And so thinking of easier ways to make our job work for us. So I didn't want to give y'all all those because y'all gonna have to get tuned in to Unapologetically Educated people. So I got 2 on here for free.
Yeah. Okay, so that is so. Okay, so it's a perfect segue into Unapologetically Educated. Principal Hannible, please tell us what is it? How did you get started? And wait, for those of you that have questions, and some of you on a Rosin Store, we see your question. If you all have questions, please post them in the comments because we're gonna have our segment called "Bring Your Own Voice." That's an opportunity for you to ask your question. So we're gonna ask her about her podcast. Let her share with us, and after she talks about her podcast, then we're gonna come to the BYOV portion. Okay, so tell us what is Unapologetically Educated. How'd you get started?
So it started it's something I've been wanting to do for some time now. Not necessarily a podcast, but I wanted a platform. Being a school principal, you're kind of in a box and you almost feel like you got to live on an island sometimes.
You do.
You're in the middle of what happens at the district. You're in the middle of what happens with the teachers in the classroom. And then you got to juggle all that and make it come out clean. Right.
Right.
And so I wanted a place for leaders to be able to speak freely. A lot of podcasts are really, it's like quick PD on the go, which is fine because I still listen to Better Leader, Better Schools. I listen to the Principal Center podcast, but those are more like PD on the go. I wanted leaders to be able to, hey, you know what? When a teacher comes in 2 hours late, and ask, can they leave 45 minutes early and they don't have their attendance in, their grades always late, I want to tell them, hell no. I want us to be able to have a space to say that. Unfair that we're the only group that has to live in this bubble of, I got to stay professional. You do. You also got to have an outlet. So that's what Unapologetically Educated is for. Okay. It was also so that we can have an exchange of ideas, research, all of that. And also, lastly, the first intention was not this. It was just any leader. But just so happened, it turned into the place for leaders of color to talk unapologetically. And it's my passion work, but it's also, I told someone the other day, I don't like spending time on Unapologetically Educated talking. They said, why you never talk about those bad teachers? Because those people are not teachers. I talk about good teachers on Unapologetically Educated, and everything else, it should work itself out in the wash. But I wanted to really be able to have this spot where you don't have to necessarily have a book published to be great at your work. There's some leaders out here grinding in schools that people who wrote books wouldn't dare step a foot in.
Right.
It's our stories.
Right.
It's just an ode to that. And when that principal, Ashley Coins, passed away, she used to always have it, Hannible, man, you need to do a TV show. You're funny, you need to be a comedian. And my husband's like, you're not funny. So, but I really wanted to do this platform. So literally, when I was at her funeral, I said, okay, girl, I'm gonna go for it. And that November, Unapologetically Educated launched, and it has changed me. Like I learned from other principals, the connecting principal, Captain Kirk in Atlanta. Like I'm learning things from other people. Nadia Lopez, Principal Cafele. Like who would have thought little old me would have Cafele, Lavella Level, Sean Joseph. Nobody knows who Sean Joseph is, but when I tell you that man is a leader, and I love his leadership style. And want some of our highest, Letha Harper, another Delta, there y'all go.
Ooh.
Walker, Michael Bland, people that Amber Teeman. Amber Teeman is a white principal. She's in Wiley ISD, but that girl from Pleasant Grove. So she came on the show and blessed us. Dr. Sade Bell, but many people that we would have never tapped into without a paid subscription to a conference or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Okay, now we're gonna play this part. This is my favorite part of Unapologetically Educated. It's my favorite part. I'm gonna do mine real quick, and then I'm gonna let you do yours. And Keisha, you're gonna be last.
Okay.
Segment on her show. Let me tell you this: the podcast begins in September. Okay, so she started back in September. They've been on vacation, so make sure you have the information in the comments. Also, Principal Hannibal, make sure y'all are giving us questions because we're gonna do BYOV. But I'm gonna say real quick, Principal Hannibal, you have a segment called "A Teacher Made Me."
Thank God.
A teacher made me. Yeah, correct me. Thank God. Okay, what's she looking for? She looking for you acting like me now.
Thank God. A teacher
made me.
Okay.
Raised me. So shout out that teacher that raised you.
So they gonna get me, but I'm gonna go with today. I'm gonna go with Joe McMillan. I'm gonna go with Joe McMillan because man, Holland Hills, Texas was real. You know, I grew up in the height of the crack epidemic. Mom had 6 kids, and my grandmother raised 6 kids. And but I say that to say it's hard raising 6 kids, being a mom, a grandma, auntie, whoever out there doing it. And I was blessed. So it's gonna be Joe McMillan, but it's gonna be Wilma Hutchins ISD.
Okay, all right.
I was able to see teachers that looked like me working hard for me. So Millen was my basketball coach. I literally in 5th grade at CS Win walked in the gym, and I was about almost 6 foot tall then. He was like, "You know how to play basketball?" And so what do you do when someone takes interest in you? You just lie. Yeah, I know how to play. Practice in some white girls. And if you've ever been broke, you know white girls is the Payless form of kids. So white girls, Dana broke my ankle, but that man saw something in me. He saw hustle, he saw grit. And I was able to travel the world and be able to see what that looks like when you interact with people that don't look like you, right? But Wilma Hutchins ISD as a whole, Miss Menifee, all those teachers, Miss Adalpe, the Hinchin family.
The Hinchins. Shout out to the Hinchins.
Those people raised me. And then another special shout out, because I know she's listening. There are so many times in your life where your parents do parent things. But when I said my mother, just shout out to her for the redemption story. Right? Through all of that in the 90s and come out clean. A lot of others didn't. So shout out to my mom, Glenda Hood. I love you, Glenda Hood Simmons, Mr.
Shout out.
That is my thank God that you raised me totality.
Okay, real quick, Keisha, shout out to the teacher that raised you, real quick.
All right, teacher that raised me, I'm just going to say her name. I am friends with her on Facebook, Miss Winifred Manning, my 4th grade teacher. She is one teacher that I remember taking me over her lap in front of the class and getting after me and said, "Don't do that." I was in the 4th grade. You want to clown? You want to act up? Come on, lay down. And bam, but guess what? 4th grade has been my grade to teach. It has been my, it is what gravitated me toward education and just being mindful in education. So shout out to Winifred Manning. I just want to say that. Shout out, Miss Manning.
Oh, your mama said she love you too.
Hey, she probably driving over here to kiss on me or something.
Okay, we're gonna go to BYOV. This is the opportunity where we take the questions from the audience. Let's see what we have going on right now. People have been commenting. There's your first question. What would you recommend a teacher do when the culture of the leadership is to constantly use the F word when they have consistently failed to communicate in a timely and effective manner? They want you to be flexible, but they're not modeling flexibility.
Oh, okay. When she said F word, I'm unapologetic.
I came back. I got you. I came back.
I'm sorry. Oh, so as a teacher, I think number one, I would try to get on. Hopefully, they have some type of committees, but I would try to be able to. I would leave feedback. So I think the best way for principals to change is for people to be candidly honest and not in a brutal way, and just give feedback. And now I will say this, and I hate that if you have a principal like this, that it turns into punitive. I ask my staff, I ask them to tell me what I'm doing wrong, what, we survey. But maybe you just say, hey, we got a lot going on, and I know you want to figure out what we're thinking. Can we do a survey just so you can get all of our thoughts in one place? And then I would love to be on a committee to help so that we situation for our campus. Another piece to that is we had a very big every year mission and vision conversation with my staff. That's time for us to say, like, what do you really want it to look like? Those, but I go back to asking straight up, like, I would love to serve in a way to help grow our campus. How do I get involved with that? How do you receive feedback? That's another one. A staff member asked me, Hannible, you're so easy to talk to, but what is the best way for me to give you some critical feedback? And for me, I'm like, just tell me. And it was straight up honest feedback. The teacher said, sometimes she's like, your energy is so vast. I sometimes feel like I'm not doing enough. And I was like, she was like, yeah, because I feel like I can't get to that level. And I was like, girl, no, I need you to bring whatever you bring to the table. I bring music and energy. You might like to garden. You might like to play an instrument, whatever your thing is. To create that space for that teacher to shine. It's not about, as a leader, and I hate this, and I'm gonna probably mess up when I say this. Straight up, girlfriend, you need to just, have a one-on-one with your principal and request a meeting and just say, how can we as a team work together to achieve more? And so how would you like to receive your feedback so we can quickly grow our campus? And, we believe in you, but these are some of the things that you need to hear. And I want to be in your corner, period.
I like that. I like all that. I'm so glad this is recorded. And for those people that are in this situation,
Lord, no.
And she said, how can we do this together? I want you to win. I want us to grow. Love the language. I love that language. But the result is the same. So thank you for giving that script. I'm going to ask you something. Tell me, what would you tell someone that wants to become a principal?
Toughen up that chin. No, this plan. I think really and truly there is such a space for people who want to grow and lead. I think you write down and start your journal of what to do when I become a principal. I had a journal of what my principal did. I never wanted to mimic, right? And then I had a list of things she did phenomenally well. Like she was good at attracting talent. Dr. Becky Shepherd, she could attract talent. And I'm like, how do you keep finding great people in one space? I literally wrote down like what was for her interview tactics. She brought everybody in to interview a teacher. It wasn't just her making those decisions. So I do the same thing. So sit down with a list of things you see good leaders doing and list of things you see bad leaders doing, and make sure you don't make those mistakes. The other thing is it's a constant growth where you got to constantly keep studying and growing. Leadership, education, period. If you sat on your heels and was like, you know what, on evaluations, I don't really care about technology. Guess what you're doing now? So I say constantly keep growing. And don't be afraid to make a mistake as a young leader or a leader coming in. I would also go to my principal and say, hey, what can I lead? And that's the Lavetta Levels tip. What can I own?
That's me. That's it.
You better lead it.
Yeah.
I told somebody the other day, I said, look, I see you as the assistant principal of this. When I come to you, you're going to tell me the solutions you got. What's your solution? I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and I'm going to say, run with it. Baby, I ain't got time if I gave it to you. So,
and you know what? Again, you're making me proud because we had these conversations and I see you actually implementing things. And I think that says to why you are continually growing. And that's why you're having a lot of successes because you learn from so many different people. What you have just told that person, I've watched you do. So she's not telling you what she's not doing for herself. And I can vouch for that, because what she just said is exactly what I told her one day. I did tell her, what are you leaving? What do you own? Because what's my word? Digital footprint. What's your footprint?
Yep.
What's your footprint at your campus? What's your footprint in your district? And what's your digital footprint? So though we talk about footprints all the time. So last question. We have a lot of people on this call. So a lot of people on this call.
You see the question?
It's you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take her call. I'm gonna take her question.
Yeah. Okay.
I see her question. Now I see it. So what one leadership book would you recommend?
What one leadership book would I recommend? Woo. I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but I'm gonna just tell the truth, shame the devil. I'm gonna give you a 1.5. So first book I would read is the four disciplines of execution. That's the number one book, because it's not just about school leadership. It's about how to lead people, period. And a lot of times we try to stick in school. This is a business too. So that is my 1.5. That is my ride or die book that I read probably ad nauseum. And I'm gonna go with Dare to Lead, Brene Brown. I have tagged that dang on book because sometimes this loud person you see, I even get afraid, like, dang, maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe I should be the cookie cutter principal with the pearls and with the cardigan. And I have to remember that's not me, and my staff don't want it. They don't want it. And so even when I worked with a predominantly white campus, they were like, what's wrong with you? You ain't said nothing to nobody. You ain't no pencil at nobody. Like, you ain't having fun. I was like, I'm actually practicing decorum. And they were like, no. So Dare to Lead teaches you to really be you. I think that is.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we all know that you have such a wealth of experience and knowledge. And, this has been an amazing time tonight. I mean, I want to continue the conversation myself, but what I want you to do is, because we're getting a lot of comments, if you could go into the comments and you can reply to some of this, that would be very helpful. So, okay. Principal Hannible, again, I just want to thank you for sharing with us tonight. We know that you could have been, at home with your family and trying to take care of your self-care, like we were all trying to do this weekend, but that didn't happen, but that's okay. So I want to say to you, thank you on behalf of the HeLive team. Thank you for coming tonight and sharing with the world your expertise, your leadership style, all of your experiences and your knowledge and your skills. We greatly appreciate you, because we know that's how we continue to build our own capacities, is if we continue to learn. Hey, Carolyn, thank you for
Hey, Ms. Bostic.
Everybody.
And thank you, Ms. Glenda, for the compliment.
Yeah, Ms. Glenda, thank you for the beauty. Yes.
Please don't do that for her. Don't do that. She
Yes, we will. So we want to thank you again. And Keisha's gonna take us out with a few things. And Ms. Hannible, we're gonna take you backstage. And again, we're gonna have her resources, that one pager, her information about our podcast, all available for everyone.
More than just a ring.
Hang on with everybody.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So again, thank Principal Hannible for joining us tonight. This was not an accident. This was intentional and on purpose. And so I hope that you all gained a wealth of knowledge. Don't forget, you can always go back and look at the video in our archives on our DTech Facebook page, our YouTube page, and as well as our Twitter. So don't forget to do that. What we're going to do right now, you guys should see the survey link in the comments. Go ahead and grab that survey link. Now, interestingly enough, we are going to spin our wheel, but we only have 3 names on the wheel tonight, so that makes it a little interesting. So 2 of these names, 2 of these individuals will be winners. So let's go ahead and spin our wheel. Our first winner is, and I'm just going to go up 1 so we won't have to continue to go through all of that. So we're going to give it to Dr. Labata Taylor. Congratulations. She's a regular, Dr. Labata Taylor. We'll be sure to send you your W-9 as well. Also, our second winner is Veronica Menifee. Congratulations. Congratulations, Lavada, Dr. Lavada Taylor, and congratulations to Veronica. All right, guys. Before we go out, we have a couple of things that we want to share with you. Be sure to join us. We're winding down our road. Let me slow it down a little bit. We're coming to the end of our summer learning series. We have only 3 more sessions left. This Thursday, next Tuesday, and next Thursday. But let me talk about this Thursday. Our tag teams will start to represent. They're going to come, our state teams, and they're going to share with you about what's going on in their areas. So this Thursday, we have the pleasure of hosting the Georgia team, the team from the DMV, and the team from Tennessee. So we want to welcome them this week. Again, the team from Georgia. I thought we were going to, there it is. The team from Tennessee and the DMV. They will be in the building this Thursday. I'm going to bring the He Live team back in with me. As we're getting ready to close out, be sure to check out our outro videos. We have a video from our DREF president, Ms. Patricia Lattimore, and she's going to share with you an upcoming fundraiser that we have going on, as well as check out our state team videos. We enjoyed you guys. Thank you for being with us. Have a great evening.
Hello, I am Patricia Lattimore, DREF CEO. I extend greetings to all of you from the nation's capital. Wherever you are located, north, south, east, or west, you can join DREF at its upcoming special event, the Hot Summer Fundraiser, on Saturday, August 22nd. It will be a virtual party like no other. Join us for summer fun as we party for a purpose, to create proceeds to benefit DREF operations and DREF's charitable programs. Don't delay. Make your reservation today via Eventbrite. Look forward to partying with you on August 22nd. Thank you for your continued support.
But we need numbers. We need to show up at school board meetings. We need to show up at county commissioner meetings. We need to have someone on the agenda to talk and know what they're talking about to advocate.
So that's the whole goal, just to be better, to come with the new knowledge, come with the new awareness,